Hey, folks, thanks for tuning in to the BAMF podcast. I'm your host, Mike Lafferty. We are doing our Fright Club Halloween series where we talk about spooky things. And tonight, we're talking about the Universal Monsters, beloved nostalgic horror icons of old, and the failed attempt to revive the franchise a few years ago. With us today, we have Bear, the next GM. How you doing, Bear?
As I said, I forgot I was doing this, so I was about to go to bed, but I'm here now, so let's do this.
All right, and Jacob Blackman, frequent co-host, the most handsome man in Norman, Oklahoma. Jacob, how are you doing?
I am well.
All right, sweet. All right, so let's start with the modern version, 2017. Universal Monsters. It was heralded as the universal take on the whole shared universe thing. Everyone wanted to have a shared universe, and then it died hard right out of the gate. Do you guys have opinions on that?
Well, frankly, they need to stop attempting the shared universe and just do some good monster movies. Because the old Universal monster films are classics for a reason. People enjoyed them. They were fun. They brought horror into cinema, and we keep going to these monsters for a reason. So
Well,
I think they just need to. I think they just need to do some decent monster films with the licenses they have, and stop trying to follow in the path of superhero films just because the superhero films managed to get their niche up and make a franchise. They already have a franchise. Stop trying to make the shared universe.
I mean, the old ones were short, less than 2 hours, most of them, and iconic, and they connected with people. And the modern stuff was, Tom Cruise movies, over 2 hours long with a script that's not great and lots of CGI. So, Bear, I can sense you have a wellspring of opinions lurking
I
behind
never
those.
saw the new ones. I had no interest in seeing the new ones. As soon as there was Tom Cruise was attached, I'm like, well, I'm out. I don't want. So I don't know if you know or not, but there's the Tom Cruise movie pattern, right? I'm the best race car driver there is. Give me a good car and I'll win this race for you. I'm the best fighter pilot there is. Give me a good fighter and I'll win this war for you. I'm the best bartender there is. Give me a good mixer and I'll win this bar for you. I'm the best Irish immigrant there is. Give me, Nicole Kidman and I'll tame this frontier for you. So I really didn't see how Tom Cruise was going to be in a monster movie. I'm like, what? That's stupid. So apparently I was right because most of the cinema going audience agreed with me. But ultimately I just wasn't for me.
Fair enough. Yeah, boy, that pattern holds pretty well for Tom Cruise, except you go back to his younger stuff. It doesn't work for Taps at all.
Well,
Except,
that's because he wasn't Tom Cruise yet, right?
well, that's fair. He hadn't had all of his Vogons euthanized to whatever they do to you at the Church of Scientology.
His body thetans.
His body thetans, yes.
Yeah. But anyway, so I had no interest in seeing it. I think honestly, I find the Universal monsters boring. As I said before we started the show, they prove one thing to me, which is that our parents were an easily frightened generation. Because I've watched the old classics, and they were never scary to me. They were just like, interesting stories. All right,
They were
moving on.
scary for when they came out.
As a kid, I mean, as like an 8-year-old, when I watched them, they didn't scare me. That's my point. They weren't scary to me as a kid. As an adult, they're just, they're decent films that are well made, well shot, and kind of cheesy, but still fun. But I was never a Universal head. I never got into the Universal monsters. So for me, whatever. They're what they are. So I don't care.
Gamer, good to see you. Did you either one of you guys see Nosferatu when it came out?
No, I don't like vampires.
You don't like vampires?
No, vampires are Anne Rice ruined vampires for me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see that.
The romanticization. I can't even say that word right now. The sexy vampire was of no interest to me, and I'm the guy cheering for Blade. You know what I mean? I'm the guy cheering for Van Helsing. I'm the guy cheering for the werewolves that are fighting the vampires. I used to love werewolves. American Werewolf in London, great film. The Howling. I mean, I loved werewolves. And then they tried to turn them into eco warriors in the fucking 90s. Like the 90s just ruined horror. Let's just say it. You know what I mean? So what are you gonna do?
Well, all right, but I mean, American Werewolf in London, that was a movie I found scary. But I'm guessing
Yes,
that,
very scary.
yeah, okay. The Howling, the first one I thought was creepy and scary. Hey, Sergeant Dan stuff. I don't remember any movies in the 90s where werewolves were eco warriors, but the World of Darkness.
No, they in popular culture, not just movies, but in like novels,
Yeah.
Werewolf the Apocalypse, things like that. They started to make them sympathetic. I never want my monsters to be sympathetic. I want them to be tragic at the very best.
Mhm.
Right? I want to feel bad for the guy, like, oh, it sucks he got bit by a werewolf and now he's going around killing people, but not too fucking bad for him. He's a werewolf and he needs to die. You know? Boom. End of story. But when the 90s, late 90s, and then into the early 2000s, they tried to make everything sympathetic. No, tragic works. Sympathetic is annoying. Why do I have to feel bad for this monster? I don't want to feel bad for this monster. It wasn't his fault. Doesn't matter. Shit happens. You know? That's life. And so I want my monsters to be monsters.
Well, the reason you might like Orlok in Nosferatu, if you ever decide to kill 3 hours of your life and see it, there is a lot of interestingly constructed shots. You could tell when the guy made the movie, he's, there's a lot of beautiful cinematography. There's a lot of beautiful framing of shots. There's a few hundred different frames of this movie you could print out and hang on your wall.
Okay.
But Orlok isn't a sexy vampire.
No.
I mean, he has romantic interests in the female protagonist, but he's a monster all the way through. And there's no moment where you feel sympathy for him.
He was the model from the original. He was the model for the Nosferatu in Vampire the Masquerade. Bad Moon was a good werewolf movie with Michael Paré as the werewolf. Yeah, Michael Paré is a decent little actor. I can watch him and stuff. So, that's cool. I'll have to check that out.
That's one. Was that a recent one? I haven't seen that one.
Ever see Silver Bullet, Stephen King's?
I read the book. I did not see the movie. Was that worth checking out?
Movie's not bad. I mean, it's got Gary Busey in it. Come on.
It's okay. Yeah.
Gary Busey's worth the price of admission in anything he's in.
When it comes to a lot of the modern remakes, I really enjoyed The Wolfman with Benicio del Toro.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I thought that was a pretty decent when it comes to the remakes.
That's fair. They had Anthony Hopkins in that too, right?
Yes.
You want to talk about an actor I'm over? Anthony Hopkins.
Well, he's over it too.
Yes.
Yeah,
well,
that's
he unretires often.
Mm-hmm.
Man's got bills.
The man is British, and as we know of British actors, they will be in anything.
Well, as
I am bored. I will be in your movie.
Well, as Jeremy Irons said, why'd you do D&D? I just bought a castle.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. But yeah. I saw the original Nosferatu in college, and it was a very good film.
Really good work of shadows in that.
Very
yeah.
good.
So good.
Especially given the time it was made. Like, you have to really be like impressed with the skill that they put into that thing. Like, it was impressive.
The effects they were able to use on that were so nice.
Did you hear about the problems they had with copyright in that movie?
With what?
Well, they wanted to do Dracula, but they couldn't. So they just changed all the names and they made it Nosferatu.
Bram Stoker's estate sued the Germans who made that movie, and they won. And part of the conditions of their victory was that every reel of that movie had to be destroyed. But because no one gave a fuck about copyright in those days, a lot of theaters had made their own copies. So the movie was thought lost for a while, but turned out there were all kinds of reels hidden in basements and theaters all across Europe. And so, it survived an attempt to kill it. It's like a vampire.
Fright Night.
By hiding in the dark. Fright Night, the original 80s Fright Night, is the best vampire movie, in my opinion.
Better than Lost Boys?
Yes.
Oh God, yes.
I enjoy
I
Lost
like
Boys.
Lost
Lost
Boys.
Boys is a decent film, but Fright Night is the best vampire film.
I like Lost Boys, but I think it's overrated as fuck. And it is not my favorite vampire film, but it is a damn high level vampire film. Near Dark will always be my favorite vampire film.
I've not heard of Near Dark. Tell me about Near Dark.
Lance
Near Dark?
Henriksen, Bill Paxton, Jeanette Goldstein. It's basically they finished making Aliens, and then Gail Ann Hurd wanted to make this other movie, and James Cameron produced for her, and went, well, I got a whole bunch of actors we could bring over.
The only character I cannot stand in Near Dark is the fucking kid vampire.
You're not supposed to like it.
When that character goes up in flames, I can't help but cheer every time I.
But it's a great movie.
Character.
Did you ever play Vampire the Masquerade, Mike?
I did. I didn't like it, but yeah.
Okay. Do you know anything about the lore of the world, the Camarilla, the Sabbat?
Oh, dude. Yeah, I was a gamer in the 90s. I was like deep into all that.
Near Dark is essentially a Sabbat pack.
Oh, okay. Well, that's more interesting. Yeah, here was my thing, and I got a hobby horse of White Wolf games in general. I couldn't find any vampire games that were as interesting as the lore I was reading in the books.
That's fair.
Because every motherfucker wanted to be a hard vampire with the katana and the trench coat and a grimdark.
Katana Dan. Yeah, Katana Dans are my favorite from the 90s. That's my least favorite 90s role player trope. The Katana Dan.
Yeah,
it's like you want to play Batman. I get it, but that's not the right
minute. You got a trench coat, tabby boots, kick pants, a fedora, and a katana. I've never seen any of that before. Oh my God, how original!
You're blowing my mind, baby. This is all new stuff to me.
This is gold. That's what this is. This is gold. But anyway, so back to the topic at hand. I love Creature from the Black Lagoon. I will take back one thing against Universal Monsters. I really, really, really like Creature of the Black Lagoon. Why don't I like Universal Monsters? The Children of the Night. What a beautiful music they make. Like they're so cheesy. That's my problem with them. And as you know, I don't like cheesy.
The melodrama of it all can get to you, yes. Especially with Renfield being that level of crazy is like the Renfield in Bram Stoker's Dracula from the 90s much more believable.
I don't like that movie, but yes, I agree with you. As a bouncer, a former bouncer, what do I think of the bar scene in Near Dark? That would be the night I wish I wasn't at work. Finger licking good. I mean,
the scene that gets me from Near Dark every time is when Lance Henriksen gets shot and then just spits the bullet back in the guy's hand.
Yeah.
It just that's an intimidation check right there.
I like when the kid vampire brings him to the hotel room where all the other vampires are, and she's like, it's very late, and Bill Paxton just looks and goes, "We keep odd hours." Fucking love that line. No, I think vampires should never be sympathetic.
No, they should be monsters.
Ever. They're fucking monsters that prey on the living. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I can never see the sun again. Tough shit. Too fucking bad, Lestat. Eat a bag of dicks and wooden steaks, please.
Well, that wasn't Lestat. That was Louis. Lestat had embraced his monsterness. Louis was the one. Woe is me, and Louis pretty much started that level of being a vampire. Every vampire I had seen before Interview with the Vampire and Louis was a monster that had embraced their monstrosity.
Yeah.
But and then it was, I'm cursed. I can never be human.
Did you ever read Fever Dream?
I have not.
It's George R. Martin's vampire book about a riverboat full of vampires in the Old South. Mm-hmm. That's actually a good read.
Okay.
It's actually a very good read. George R. Martin, good writer, Whether you like him or not, decent writer.
It
Well,
is the project
there's a
he
reason he
would
sold all
like.
the books.
That's the one remaining project he'd like to see get adapted. Before he shovels off the moral coil. And
Can I say that again, please?
Martin wants to see that get adapted.
A Fever Dream?
Yeah.
Nice. I'd like to see that. If they did it right, it'd be a really good movie.
So, what do you guys think about John Carpenter's Vampires?
So I got to see John Carpenter's Vampires at Fantasia the year he debuted it, and he showed up to speak. And afterwards, he answered questions from the audience. And I mean, I love the movie. I think it was a great fun movie. I hear the books are better, but I love the movie. But my favorite part that will always stick in my mind until the day I die was as he was doing the Q&A with the audience on the there was on the balcony up top at the Imperial Theater, this tall French Canadian goth vampire looking dude with his smoking hot goth vampire girlfriend gets up and asks this question to John Carpenter. Why you have to make the vampire the bad guy? Why can't they be the good guy? And Carpenter just looks at him, and I forever will love Carpenter for this. He went because it was my movie and they were bad guys. You want to make a movie about vampires being good movies? Make your own movie. Next question. And I was just like, that is fucking genius. That is fucking genius.
That's the right answer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I was telling Mike the other day about games. Make games that you love. Don't aim for the general audience. Don't try to appease the audience. Make games that you love, that you enjoy playing, and it'll find its audience.
But I really want to make heroic fantasy that uses a D20. In my heart of hearts, that's my dream with the fantasy heartbreaker setting. There's elves and dwarves, maybe flying lizards.
Are you making fun of my game that I just released, sir? Are you making fun of Valorous? Is that what you're doing?
I'm making fun of thousands of guys who release games just like that every year. That's
and I did too. So fuck you. We can't all be the Corman of RPGs, sir. Speaking of, I kind of regret that Corman never got into like doing schlocky vampire films because I think Corman was the one guy who could have done he didn't do it to the level that he could have though. Like how many barbarian movies did Corman make? Right?
Oh, he did a lot of barbarian films.
How many cheesy sci-fi films did he make?
Tons.
You know, how many vampire films did he make? A couple.
One.
Yeah, one.
Nobody could have done like
imagine if he had gone Corman Hammer Films level.
How about like a Miami Vice Vampires mashup, directed by John Corman?
Yeah, that would be amazing. That'd be fucking. I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
here it is.
Oh, never mind. Don't want to do it anymore. What's the name of this? What?
Fangorous. Like dangerous.
The
name
sucks.
The name sucks.
Who did this? Is this you?
Yes, it's me.
Yes, this is
Dude, the name is awful.
Fainting Goat Games production.
I mean, I love the concept, but that name, Fangorous? Oh,
Fangorous.
That's not, no.
It's free. Laser and Feelings Hack. It's 2 pages long. tinyurl.com/Fangorous game. You can pick it up.
I do recommend picking it up because Mike makes fun schlock. But never forget, he is
a 6 table for your 1980s, what do we call those tapes we used to make for our friends in the 80s?
Mixtapes.
Yeah. So, yeah, we might, if I can talk people into playing this, it might be our Halloween actual play this year. I don't know. But we had some questions from the comments. Is Fever Dream better than the movie Sinners from Just a Passerby?
I couldn't say because I've never read it.
You got any opinions on that, Bear?
I'm sorry, what?
Is Fever Dream better than the movie Sinners?
I haven't seen Sinners, so I can't tell you. But I hear Sinners is a ripoff of another film, so. But I can't remember which film it is.
Captain Kronos. I had Dan Abnett on a few years back. He was doing a new Captain Kronos comic. That was pretty fun.
Cool.
That's the okay. Captain Kronos. I'd forgotten about that.
Finger sounds like that's kind of the vibe I was going for. Yes. Well, I mean, you're working for this secret vampire cabal that protects Orlando, and the guy who heads it's just called W, and you got to deal with Miami Vice vampire shit. So yeah. Lasers and Feelings is a great little system. I mean, it's great for one shots. It's super simple. It's ridiculously simple. And there's a Double Clicks song about that, so it's fun.
I would
There's
have called it Bloody Caesar.
Bloody Caesar?
Yep, implying both the drink and the idea that you're a cabal running the city, and there'd be a Caesar of the vampires instead of a prince.
Oh, all right. I can see that.
Future, run shit by me before you publish it, and I'll give you my thoughts. How about that?
I'll be your
Use me as your test audience.
Yeah.
In the adventure that I wrote for Monsters Are Our Heroes, I call the vampire leader of the region the Scion, and he's supposed to look like some tween kid who's just old as hell. And I mentioned when I ran the adventure, he floats in, but he's just wearing a really long coat and he's on Heelys.
There's that goofy shit I hate.
Uh-huh. So, The Invisible Man. What do people think of The Invisible Man?
I like the Kevin Bacon one, but overall I think it's a really dumb concept, and I think Chevy Chase's spoof of The Invisible Man was probably the best version of The Invisible Man. And also there was a thing, I can't remember what it was. Oh my God, what was it? There was a thing where the guy thought he was invisible, but he wasn't. And he's running around slapping stuff out of people's hands. Oh, who did that? Oh, what the fuck was that?
I've seen that shtick in a lot of TV shows, so I wouldn't be able to narrow.
It was a specific comedy film that they did that in.
I unfortunately wouldn't be able to narrow it down for you, but I have to agree with you on.
It was like Amazon Women on the Moon or something like that. It was one of those types of films. It was just so funny.
Okay.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
But yeah, Memoirs of an Invisible Man with Chevy Chase honestly did a really good job of showing the problems of being invisible. Because in The Invisible Man, you're pretty much following.
Thank you, Elisa.
You're following the people that the Invisible Man is attacking more than him. So when we're following Chevy Chase through the films, and he's got problems, he has to figure out how to maneuver through the city without getting hit by cars that can't see him. He has to figure out how to sleep when he can see through his eyelids at night.
Yeah, Son of the Invisible Man. There we go. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Being invisible is a problem.
Yeah,
it's not a power as you might think it is.
I think Jekyll and Hyde has been mishandled every time they do it. Except for maybe League of Extraordinary Gentlemen did it well.
I was thinking about that where they had kind of a disturbing take on Invisible Man in that comic as well.
Yeah.
If you haven't read it, it's
which comic?
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
That's a great comic. It's fucking dark.
That's what I'm talking about. That's Alan Moore.
With what the Invisible Man had been doing for the last several years before they caught him. It's like, that's.
You got a modern take on that where the Invisible Man's hanging out at a Pentecostal church, just knocking people over or doing whatever to them, and they think it's the Holy Spirit. But yeah, it was bad. And hey, I interacted with Grant Morrison today.
You interacted with Grant Morrison today?
I asked him who was winning the Wizard War between him and Alan Moore.
And what did he say?
Donald Trump.
Yeah. See, and that's why of the two, I prefer Grant Morrison because he has a sense of fucking humor.
Yeah. Well, Alan Moore's had a rough life.
Oh, poor millionaire. Oh, I feel so bad for that millionaire. Oh.
I would read a book or watch a movie about a shadow wizard war between two high-profile British comic book authors.
Well, Grant Morrison's Scottish, Sarah.
Well, that counts as British.
No, you get fucking baseball battered. You say that shit in Scotland.
It counts as part of the UK, but he's not British.
Yeah, they're part of the United Kingdom, but they're not British. Doesn't matter. They're not British. They're Scottish.
Are you going to say the Welsh aren't British either?
There's
nope,
Welsh.
The Welsh are not British. The Manx are not British. The Cornish are not British.
Yeah.
The British are the Britons, sir. The Britons.
Well,
I guess. Are the North Irish British too? Is that what you're going to say?
The Northern Irish I've talked to consider themselves British. I mean,
you ever watch the show Titus, Christopher Titus' show back from the 90s, early 2000s?
Oh, called Titus. Yeah.
There's a great bit where he's talking about having a fight with his girlfriend, and he goes, he's doing to the camera bit, and he goes, "Problem is, when we have a fight, she's Irish," and then he cuts it. There's a shot of her washing the dishes, and then a car explodes in the window, and he goes, "Sorry, North Irish." It's just-
Oh my!
Not really into Halloween, but the BBC recently did a show called Say Nothing. It's a mini series about the Troubles in the 70s.
oh,
And,
wow.
yeah, there were a couple of IRA operatives who were interviewed by Boston University for an oral history project on the condition that the tapes wouldn't be released until they died. Guess what?
Okay. They died, so the
A
tapes
couple of
went
them
out.
died. One was the lady who bombed London. And they made it into a miniseries. And
Interesting.
you can find it on Hulu. It's pretty well
I'm
done.
Canadian.
Do you guys have Hulu up there? What do you call it?
You gotta pay through the nose for shit like that here. Not good.
Yeah.
I'll just put on me old patch and hit the high seas. Yar.
R.
Speaking of, actually, I should take back. There is one vampire thing that I really like. Things We Do in the Dark, the series. I hated the original, but that series had no business being as good as it was. It was so good, and it was funny and goofy, but it was well done.
It had surprising depth in places. Stacey Keach, I couldn't remember, but yeah, Stacey Keach is a great character actor. I liked him as Philip Marlowe in the 80s. My kid loved him in that Stupid Planes movie from Disney.
Sorry, Philip Marlowe. No, it was Mike Hammer.
In the HBO miniseries, wasn't Stacey Keach?
Maybe. I don't know, but he played Mike Hammer on TV.
Oh, yeah, this was on HBO. Yeah, I think I remember him as Mike Hammer back in the late 80s, maybe.
You know what I'm ready for?
What's that?
Cast the Deadly Spell, the series.
Motherfucker, me too. That would be great. That would be so great.
But done in the 40s. Done in that
it has to be done period correct. That would be so good.
That's some
I love that movie so much.
First HBO original, such a good. They hit it. Their first one was a home run, and they all went downhill after that one. Sadly,
yeah, they tried with the sequels, and they were just utter crap.
The sequel was awful. The sequel was garbage.
Dennis, what's his fucking there?
Dennis Hopper is playing the character that should have been
Fred Ward.
Fred Ward.
Past a certain year, if Dennis Hopper is in a movie, you got to think hard about.
I can tell you what year it is. Whatever year My Science Project came out. After that, he was done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard he was good as the villain in Speed. So I don't know. He wasn't okay.
No. Jeff Bridges was good in that, but Dennis Hopper was not.
what was the one where Jeff Bridges was it? Jeff Bridges? No, it was Tim Robbins. Was the neighbor who was a terrorist or something? That was pretty good.
I don't remember.
So wasn't there? Alicia Robb is saying, after classic monsters, the ones that could do with proper revisit is the creature from Black Lagoon and Jekyll and Hyde. Didn't they do something very similar to a modern take on Creature from the Black Lagoon recently?
Are you thinking about Shape of Water or something like that?
Yeah, that was sort of the sexy vampire take on Creature from Black Lagoon.
Yeah, it was stupid. It's the train of thought that eventually leads to Morningwood Milking Farm. You know what I'm saying?
I would love to, honestly, what I would love to see is a Creature from the Lagoon remake, and it needs to be the monster suit from Monster Squad.
Yeah.
Because that was the best Creature from the Black Lagoon that has ever been.
Monster Squad is a great film, top to bottom. Love that movie. I like both his Dead Guys movies, that and Night of the Creeps. Great movies.
Mm-hmm. Those are excellent films. Okay, this is not a Universal film, but it is connected because it is based on Frankenstein. Have you seen the 1985 film The Bride?
Yes, Jennifer Beals.
Clancy
Brown as the monster.
Clancy Brown as the monster, yeah, and Sting playing Dr. Frankenstein.
Yep. Frankenstein, please. Sorry.
This is by far my favorite film version of the story because they do something wholly original with it. other than the same story we've always seen.
Well, and they also like DC kind of ripped it off with Creature Commandos with the whole idea of like, Dr. Frankenstein falling in love with the bride and all. It was like, I saw this already. Fuck.
Except it's not so much that Frankenstein falls in love with the bride. Frankenstein is the villain in this. He wants to possess the bride, feeling that because he created her and that educated her, that he owns her.
Yeah.
When she's like, oh no. So he is very much the villain in this.
I think Clancy Brown's makeup was insanely good in that movie.
Yes.
Well done from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Did not realize that was him at all. I'm a big fan of Clancy Brown's work the last few years. Really liked him in Venture Brothers. Really liked him in The Mandalorian. Really liked him in SpongeBob. Sorry about SpongeBob, but I have a kid, so.
It's okay. I forgive you. I forgive you.
So let's see. Then we got some of their. Yeah. See, I always base my Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, that's nice.
On the on the version from Monster Squad. Whenever I draw him, that's how I draw him.
Would it be a better movie if there was like more than one of them, or is the tragic last guy from his whole race kind of something you can't escape with that?
Well, honestly, that is up for interesting debate there. You can do the aliens kind of sequel thing if you wanted to, by dealing with one in the first and then finding out there are more in the second, and kind of make it like they are the deep ones, kind of like what happened in Underwater.
Oh, Underwater was.
That was actually really good, yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to put this out there. Underwater, for those who have not seen it, and within the sound of my voice, go see that movie immediately. This film got lost because of when it was released and the outbreak of COVID.
Also, Kristen Stewart is actually a good actress in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
almost no one saw this movie because of when it was released, but I saw it pretty much as soon as it hit streaming, because everyone I knew who had just seen it before COVID hit said it was amazing, and I took them for
really
it.
Good.
And I watched it, and it was amazing. And oh wow, what happens at the end? Oh wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Wow, 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 wow.
But speaking of other Universal monster films, they didn't just stick to things like The Creature and Dracula and Wolfman. Universal Films had a couple of giant monster movies to go along with all that Atomic Age stuff. They did The Tarantula and The Deadly Mantis, which honestly, when the Deadly Mantis, when it comes to some of the giant monster films of the era, was one of the decent ones. I put I would say, what was that one? The Harryhausen one, Beast from like 40,000 Fathoms.
Oh, yeah, that one was okay. What is this game? What is this for?
We did two versions of this, one for Mutants and Masterminds and one for Savage Worlds. We've got it on sale right now for Halloween. The tinyurl.com/M&M Universal with a Y. You can get it for $1, which is worth it just for the Jacob art. I mean, look at this creepy Krampus fucker here. But
yeah, when I had done the superpowered bestiary, most of the monsters I had done were based on converting from Dungeons and Dragons. So a lot of them were threats for normal humans, not so much for superheroes until you get to things like, demons and dragons and stuff. Mm-hmm. So when I did this project, Universal Monsters with the YOU,
Like that.
These are classic monsters that are specifically designed to be superhero threats. So this is a werewolf who is designed to take on superheroes.
Them is a really good movie.
Them is probably the best giant bug movie that is out there.
Except for maybe Starship Troopers.
I'm also a huge fan, and I blame Mystery Science Theater for it, but I've watched it without Mystery Science Theater as well. I'm a huge fan of Giant Gila Monster.
I have never seen that one.
I highly recommend it with MST3K because so good.
Okay.
But it's actually it's an okay film on its own. Bird Eye Gordon, I think, did it or something like that. I can't remember who the director was. But yeah, good films. I think just the thing is that, like I said, our parents were easily frightened, and those movies were not scary. They, now you get to the satanic panic stuff of the 70s, and you get like Rosemary's Baby. Everybody freaks out about Rosemary's Baby. I watched it in college, and I was like,
it's a long burn for a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, why was this scary? This was not scary. The Exorcist, as we said last week, scary.
Yeah.
I think there were some movies that are so much of their time that when you get it removed from that context, it kind of loses whatever was working then. I would argue the Beatles make a lot more sense if you're around the 60s and, when they hit it big. You listen to them as a kid, and it's... You can miss whatever it was, I think. You're looking at me.
Well, listen, you're allowed to be wrong, and that's okay. The Beatles are amazing. What are you talking
I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying it can be hard to get for a kid in the 80s or 90s.
I had no problem getting them or Zeppelin or Bowie or Pink Floyd.
Well, Bowie and Zeppelin, that's modern enough you can get it. Like the Beatles can seem kind of quaint and old timey, especially the kids these days. Well, Zeppelin.
Well, maybe these days, but in the 80s it wasn't. It was just good music.
Okay. I mean, I liked it. Well, people like, what is this weird? I mean, they had a resurgence in the 90s where they had a miniseries on ABC, and it was a whole thing. But
the Beatles?
Yeah, but boy, going back a few years. But there are some movies I would argue, like Rosemary's Baby, that might have been a big deal when it came out in the time, but removed from the context of the 60s and maybe commenting on some of those issues, and it's sort of feels like more of a time capsule than a really engaging piece of entertainment. So.
Okay, I'm going to throw a Universal monster film out there that is probably overlooked. And honestly, this falls into cosmic horror. Without, I don't think they addressed it as cosmic horror, but if you think about how it is, it's cosmic horror. The 1957 Universal film, The Monolith Monsters.
I've never heard of this.
So, okay, just to give you an idea, it is a sci-fi film where a meteorite smashes into the Southern California desert, pretty much like so many other films. It explodes into black fragments that go everywhere, and then giant pillar, like skyscraper size pillars of stone start erupting randomly all over the place. And anyone who is near them too long starts to petrify and turn into stone. This is a cosmic horror event where our world, through some unknown means and just random happenstance and radiation, is being terraformed by an outside source.
Okay. So it's sort of like a roadside picnic kind of situation.
Now, it's full of 50s sci-fi science BS. There is a lot of just yapping and talking throughout the whole thing because there's not much interesting going on except, erupting pillars. It's not an exciting movie. in any way, shape, or form. But if you think about the context, it's pretty horrific, especially when it comes to that petrification.
I miss that in 50s movies. The scientist who's there to explain how things work to the audience. So he'll mention something like, it's like the theory of evolution. And then the military will go, the theory of evolution? You go, yes, the concept that animals adapt to their environment as generations progress. I love that. That's like, I wish they would bring that back in movies. Just that guy who explains everything to you. I just fucking love that shit.
The 50s sci-fi films especially were full of that. The Mantis film, the entirety of the Deadly Mantis film was military propaganda to keep Russia out of our airspace. Because if you pay attention to the opening, they are talking about the network of military satellites that go from the North Pole all the way down through Canada and into the United States, alerting them of anything approaching our airspace. We know exactly where it is, how fast it's going, and how we can intercept it.
You ever see The Giant Claw?
Terrible movie.
Awful movie.
Such a terrible piece of crap movie because they would not wait for Harryhausen to become available. They got the worst monster.
Oh, its eyes are so goofy.
It's so stupid. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. I mean, old films, some of them have their charm. There's a Japanese movie about a space station that has these weird green tentacle monsters crawling all over it. Yep. Is that the green slime? Yeah, and then they Americanized it with some American stuff shot in to add into it.
It's not. They didn't Americanize it. It was a joint Japanese-American film, which is why the cast is mixed.
Right. Those monsters scared the shit out of me as a kid when I saw them.
Because it's like it has the American captain and his love interest is Japanese, and there's a lot of Japanese and American crewmen. Yeah.
Now, when I was a kid, those monsters scared the living shit out of me and clearly left a mark on Gary Gygax.
Yeah. They really are the inspiration for Ropers, aren't they? And any number of other D&D monsters.
Ropers, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Joe Fisher says, I like the original War of the Worlds. The remakes don't even hold a candle to it. That's fair. I would like to see
I like the original too.
I'd like to see a period remake of that set back in the time it was written.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Every remake I see is modern day.
Andrew, we should get the RPG rights to this film.
The green slime.
I bet you get it for a case of sake and a couple grand.
Case of sake. Okay.
People are doing crazy adaptations now. There's a Universal Soldiers movie, RPG out there.
Yes, I know. Dave Scott, I've interviewed him a couple of times. Great guy.
Yeah, I was on a panel with him here on your show.
You were.
Yeah.
There was an episode of Space 1999 where they basically had almost the same monsters as the green slime. And it's basically an episode where this ship from Earth shows up, and it's all their friends and family that have come to rescue them. And the only one who sees through the guys is that weird alien chick that could turn into animals. Maya. That's a good episode. I remember that. Can't remember what it's called, but yeah, what are you going to do?
The RPG Dad says, how about the War of the Worlds TV series? That's a direct sequel to the original movie. I didn't know this existed.
It's a Canadian TV show.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I remember the War of the Worlds TV show it was from the late 80s.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. No, I loved that show when I was a kid. I loved that show. I wish that someone would pick it up for streaming because I can't find it anywhere.
Yar.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck them. When they made streaming more expensive than cable, fuck them.
Yeah. So have we pretty much talked about the extent of the Universal monsters?
Have we plunged the story depths?
Basically, what it comes down to is watch the Monster Squad, and you'll get everything you want out of the Universal Monsters.
Yes.
One really good 80s film with kids who swear a lot.
Also, you'll learn that Wolfman has nards.
And you'll learn that Wolfman has nards.
And it has that great scene when she sees the tattoo on his arm. Yeah.
That scene is...
Not all monsters are undead or whatever. It's like, or some monsters are human.
It was, you sure know a lot about monsters. Yes, I suppose I do. And then you see the tattoo. Yeah. I had to have that explained to me.
Oh, really?
I at the time I saw that, I was unaware of what had happened with the Holocaust. Yeah. Because none of my history courses at the time had discussed it. My mother told me, and suddenly I was really, really on board with every time Indiana Jones shot those fuckers. Shoot more.
Well, and not to get too political, but that's the thing, right? Like my best friend in high school, his mother was a teacher of Holocaust studies at Concordia, a Jewish lady. She taught me the best Jewish jokes I ever heard, best Holocaust jokes. She told me all of them. She was amazing, Judy. But that's why when I see people running around screaming Nazi today, I'm just like, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about, you children. Like these are the greatest, this is literally the greatest evil of the 20th century, like just mustache twirling levels of evil, like they're just so fucking wrong. So like to see the word be just thrown around, like, oh, they won't sell me something at fucking White Castle, fucking Nazis. It's like, okay, calm the fuck down, Tina.
Yeah.
Like get a grip. And I think that's a failure of our society, of our media, because when we were kids in the 80s, 70s and 80s, we were being taught the history through the movies we watched. We were being things like Monster Squad, things like that. We got little snippets of this. But because most of those screenwriters were either people who grew up during that period or were children of people who grew up during that period. So the stories were fresh in their minds. You know what I mean? Big fucking difference to today where, they go from UCLA right to a writer's room and they've lived no life in between. So they have nothing to draw upon for their stories. So they just stereotype and make everything garbage. And yes, The Keep is an amazing, it's the most interesting Michael Mann film you'll ever see that isn't a Michael Mann film in its delivery. It's very different than his usual stuff.
I saw The Keep when I was way too young, and I did not get it.
Yeah. There was a role-playing supplement for it, eh?
Yeah. I came back to it later as a teenager. Oh, that is so good. It is so good.
So what is this about? I haven't seen this.
It's in Nazi-occupied Romania, and there's this keep, and the Nazis want to set up a command center in it, and the villagers are like, "You don't want to be doing this," and they're like, "Your superstitions," and well, let's just say there's something that lives in the keep, and I'll leave it at that because otherwise I'm spoiling it for you.
They remark at the beginning of the film that the keep is structured oddly, that it's not designed to keep people out. It looks like it's more of a prison designed to keep something in. That's all they say about it. And
based on a book.
Yeah.
But there's a role-playing supplement, Roll Aids, Mayfair, yeah. Roll Aids, they released a source book for the keep.
Young Ian McKellen.
Yes.
He was never young.
So, is Rutger Hauer in that?
I don't believe so.
No.
I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who played Glenn. There's Jürgen Prochnow.
That's it. That's what I'm thinking of, is Jürgen
Robert Prosky. Swing Christine and The Natural and Broadcast News.
Yeah, Gabriel Byrne is in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott Glenn.
No, you can't forget Scott Glenn. He's a major character in that.
Good movie. Really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys gave me some movies to check out. Do we want to do another one of these next week?
Yeah, I'm down.
What do we want to talk about?
Hammer films?
I think we should. Well, I'm going to suggest instead we peel back the layer and do a deep dive on vampires.
Vampires? I love vampires. Let's do vampires.
Can we say vampires and werewolves?
No.
So just werewolves can be its own genre. There's
There's
so
vampires,
many
there's
vampire
enough there.
movies. There's so many werewolf movies.
All right, so movies, novels, games.
Relatives, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Hey, folks, thanks for checking us out tonight. We will see you next week, and catch you next time on the Vamp Podcast.
Blah.
Bye.